Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps today. Ooh, we got stuff to talk about, you guys. You know, this one is on the floor crying right now. So much going on with them. We're going to dive right on into all the breaking news. But first, let me say hello to my co-host. Say hi.
Hi, this is Dr. Bad Vibes, also known as Jay. You can find me on YouTube, not as Jay, but as Dr. Bad Vibes, also Twitch. I'm here to listen to my favorite podcast in Bizarro World.
Well, I have bad news. I know you're excited to listen to more of that. We so enjoyed it listening to that on Patreon. But Jay, I'm here to tell you it's been canceled.
What? Are you serious? How am I going to go to sleep at night now? By listening to that boring-ass, monotone, self-praising, whatever that show was supposed to be. No, seriously, that is one of the worst things I've ever listened to.
And that's saying some stuff because you listen to some awful crap.
No, it was truly bad. I mean, seeing some of the terms of their contract, it's just eye-watering, like what they were thinking. Spotify, what they were thinking. I guess they were just trying to follow Netflix's footsteps, which don't know if that turned out well for them either. So we're gonna talk about that.
Meghan Markle's Archetypes podcast is axed by Spotify. Streaming platform and Sussexes agree to part way, with royal pair set to lose full payout due to, dun dun dun, low productivity. Ooh, we need to speculate what the heck that means. The first episode of Archetypes launched last August as part of a £20 million deal. Well, there's your first mistake right there.
So if you've been following Jen's channel for a while, you've probably heard her opinion on this podcast. It's so bad. I mean, I've listened to a lot of bad podcasts. I remember before they were called podcasts, I've literally been listening to them since I had an actual iPod, like a Generation 2 or whatever. So I've listened to a lot, and this one was terrible. And based on the press release, it was talking about low productivity. And, we talked back and forth, like, what exactly does that mean? And it could mean, they just didn't have the downloads. I mean, it's, at the end of the day, everything's ad supported. And if you don't have enough ears listening to it, you can't sell enough ads. You're not going to make enough money. You're not going to make $20 million for sure. I don't know how many downloads that would take to justify that. But where they say low productivity, I would assume that means that they didn't produce the amount of content they agreed on. I don't know. So I'm looking at their release schedule. And so they only made 12 episodes. And they're most of them aren't even an hour a piece. So, I mean, they essentially put in a week's worth of work for $20 million.
No, they said they work an hour a week.
Oh, yeah, they work an hour. Yeah, the hour a week must have been recording this podcast. But so it started August 23rd, 2022, and it ran for three weeks, and then they took a month off, and then it was pretty much weekly up until November 29th. And let's see here. And they haven't done anything since then. And here we are in the middle of June 2023. I think maybe they were doing it and just got tired of it and maybe they thought people would just keep listening to those 12 episodes enough to satisfy whatever contract they had. But yeah, the whole thing's weird. Low productivity makes me think that they did not put out what they promised. And that's unusually low for, I mean, that's pretty low for a podcast. Most release weekly. I mean, it looks like they did for a bit, but I mean, it's like, hey, we're going to put out 3 episodes and then take a month off immediately after launching. That's crazy.
There's so many funny things that are popping in my head right now, and this is one of them. The night of the near catastrophic car chase happened. She was accepting a Gracie Award for this stupid podcast. So does that mean she has to turn around and give back the award? Please say yes. I know she bought and paid for that thing, so it's fine. She gets to keep it, but it's just funny. The idea that she just accepted this thing and then, oh no, they're canceled. Yeah, a lot of stuff coming out about this. It says the air is going out of their much hyped balloon. Experts warn Harry and Meghan could lose up to $10 million in deals now that Spotify has decided to part ways. Meghan Markle's Spotify podcast Archetypes will not be renewed for a second season. As the audio company begins to make changes and revamp its output, it has been confirmed. The streaming giant and Meghan and Prince Harry's audio production company, Archwell Audio, released a joint statement saying that they had mutually agreed to part ways. Isn't that funny how they mutually agree with everybody that's dropping them? And are proud of the series we made together, I'm sure. I'm actually surprised she let the statement say that. I'm assuming she means her and Spotify, not her and Harry. Meghan and her husband Harry, oh God, I bet he loves being referred to as that. Let me try that again. Chelsea's ex and his wife reportedly signed a $20 million deal with Spotify for the project in late 2020. But insiders close to the audio giant claimed that the royal couple did not meet the productivity benchmark required to receive the full payout, the Wall Street Journal reported.
So whatever the actual definition of productivity, benchmarks may be, obviously didn't make a whole lot of episodes, but looking into it as well, the first episode did pretty well. It had like 10 million downloads, but then after that, it just cratered. I can't find exact numbers, but lots of articles from around that time period are just like, yeah, everybody quit listening. Probably because they tried to listen to it. I'm sure, episode one, no publicity is bad publicity in, well, most cases. And people were curious, I'm sure. And probably people just wanted to find out what kind of train wreck was, costing, or 20 million pounds. And I mean, we tried to get through a whole episode. I can't explain enough how awful it is. It's so bad. I want to get into reviews later, but we'll put that off. But yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, like I was saying, it's ad supported. They were probably happy with the first episode. I don't know what their targets were, but 10 million, views, downloads, whatever. That's pretty big. Not $20 million big, I don't think. 25 million rather. And so it's just a catastrophe basically, and they're just, I don't know what it was supposed to be. It's just so bad. I think it was a bait and switch thing. It was like she would put these celebrities on so people would be like, oh hey, I like that celebrity. They'd talk for 5 minutes about nothing, and then it would just shift into stuff about her. It was all about her. We didn't listen to all 12, obviously, because we're not sadistic and or masses. But yeah, I mean, it's just so bad. that's they paid a lot of money for a piece of poop.
Where's our money? We could put out some bad content. Where's our 20 million?
I mean, really, it's so unfair. There are plenty of people that do podcasts for a living. I listen to some very specific weird stuff like computer things and just nerd stuff, and they're struggling on Patreon to get listeners, and it's not this garbage. They got 20 million pounds. I mean, it's mind-blowing.
So coincidentally, it's pretty funny. A couple of days ago, I just put this out, so definitely go back and listen if you haven't. But I go all into how bad the podcast is, as well as talking about some of the negative reviews that people left about this thing. And they pretty much all say the same thing that Jay was just saying, which is it's just a reason for her to talk to us about her. It's just awful. But Jay found some really funny stuff he's going to talk to us about now about this podcast.
So yes, funny timing. I like how the reviews came out before this news, or Jen's video on the reviews. But also a bit of happenstance. So I was just trying to find out when the episodes came out, how many, etc. So I was using Wikipedia, and they have just underneath that. I just happened to look down. They've got critical response. This is basically a paragraph that's a summary of a lot of top reviews. Some of these may have shown up in Jen's video, but I'm just going to read this paragraph because it made me laugh. So, The podcast content received mixed reviews from critics. Writing for The Guardian, I'm not going to try it. It is a very hard name. It has a lot of consonants in a row. Believe there was not much substance to Meghan or her activism, and her message is perniciously deceptive. The love, happiness, and triumph of which she speaks is primarily centered on her marriage. She described Meghan as a rich, out-of-touch woman whose position as a role model makes the road ahead feel that much harder for those of us trying to carve out lives that aren't defined by beauty, royalty, celebrity, or wealth. Wow, that's a good review. Yeah. Alyssa Rosenberg of the Washington Post believed that for Meghan and her husband to, quote, to build a truly new life and have a wider impact on the causes they care about, the only way is to stop making themselves the center of the story. True. Let's see. And then in her review for The Independent, Olivia Petter described the podcast's first episode as, quote, the most self-congratulatory 57 minutes of audio you'll hear all year. Petter also believed that Meghan's understanding of feminism, quote, seems to be almost entirely about herself, and she was critical of her attempts to insert herself into the conversation. This is another quote. What is being promoted as a subversive feminist podcast appears so far to be nothing more than exercise in navel gazing. One that is more about promoting its host than anyone else. Wow. So that's pretty amazing. It goes on. So those are the reviews. They've actually, below this, they have some of the, I guess some large mistruths that were called out. So it says, Meghan's comments in the first episode in which she described the British High Commissioner's residence in South Africa as a, quote, housing unit, were criticized in the media, resulting in the hashtag, it's in another language, but it translates to go away Meghan, trending on Twitter. In the sixth episode, Meghan discussed how deal or no deal models had been treated like, quote, bimbos, and claimed there had been different beauty stations for the models to prepare for the game show, including a section where you could add padding into your bra. Former Deal or No Deal model Patricia Cara disputed the claim, stating, quote, there's no truth to the padding station. In all the years I worked on the show, that never existed. So both she and Donna Feldman, another Deal or No Deal model, criticized Meghan's statement that the models had been treated like bimbos. So more things debunked. I am shocked.
Yes. I do want to bring up one more thing that's so funny that's come out that you guys pointed out and we talked about with that video I put up about archetypes, is she's confusing the word archetype and stereotype. She's not using it correctly. She refers to stereotypes of people and then proceeds to talk about herself for, I don't know, whatever, the rest of the show. So it is funny that even the name is a lie, essentially.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the premise was, hey, here are some inspiring people that we should see as examples or whatever. But I'm going to let them talk for 5 minutes. I'm the real example. Everybody listen to me. Like I'm the alpha and omega of everything.
Wow. Yeah, it's kind of not fair. She would tease people I actually wanted to hear speak, but then not let them talk. It's really annoying. Anyway, guys, as always, thank you so much for being here. We have lots of fun stuff coming up. I have lots of big videos coming out today. Please come back around 2 p.m. Eastern. I have a really big video I'm excited for you to see. It's another one of the cringe videos. This might be my all-time favorite cringe. It's stuff I didn't even know about. I'm excited for you to see. Also, I'm going to go ahead and tease this. Jay has been working his his archetypes off, because he's been working on new merch for me. I have new merch coming out, and I'm hoping to be able to put it up this weekend. I will tell you about it. I'm very excited. Just check back lots. And Jay, tell everybody where to find you and tell them about the cool new merch.
So you can find me on YouTube and Twitch as Dr. Bad Vibes, all spelled out, all one word. And we were going to have some new channel-specific merch coming out soon. Probably, T-shirts, mugs, stickers, the things people tend to gravitate towards. And they are colorful, fun. They're starting to look pretty cool, if I do say so myself. So be sure to check that out this weekend. I'm sure Jim will put out a post or something, tweet, all the socials. Anyways, have a good weekend. Have a good next week if you listen to this later. Bye.
Aw, you were clunky there. And if you just keep talking about yourself, then I'd say, oh, it's like a preview of Megan's podcast. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate each and every one of you. I can't even believe maybe when you're listening to this, I may have already hit it. I'm about to hit 90,000 subs. Holy cow. So close to that 100,000. I'm thrilled. Share this with all your peeps. Really appreciate each and every one of you. And I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.